Hi Virgos, and welcome to your April 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign, which to me, right off the bat, is feeling like a crisis avoided, or like you are really dodging or bypassing something that could have gone pretty wrong this month. So we're all kind of there, actually, in a way, with all of the coronavirus issues and having to do social distancing and quarantines. We are all kind of seeing how the way that we were going before actually was not promising much at all, and might have actually been leading up to a long phase of consequences. And to me, it's just even further validation of how much of a rock star you are this year. Because it's like maybe you were already prepared for this in some way, or you were already really organized, or already had your house in order to be spending so much time in it. And now, instead of being maybe the type of person who's having to go into like emergency preparations mode, you are more so the person who's already creating, or already having a big turnover, or a big exhale of sigh of relief, like, wow, I can finally focus on what I've wanted to for so long now. And I think that April of 2020, as it is Aries season moving to Taurus season, is a great time for you to move from a level of like ADD or attention deficit to a level of like absolute incarnation of some of these bigger goals that you've had for a long time. So to me, it does actually feel like a very goal-oriented month for you. And it also feels like seeing people's true colors as well. You do have the Tower reversed. I think, if I remember correctly, you're the only sign to get the Tower this month. And due to it being reversed, I feel like you are avoiding some of those difficulties. You also have the Five of Swords too. So whenever I see those two together, that can indicate a breakup or a falling out. And also it can indicate mistreatment, or people being very ugly around you. So I do want to prepare you for that. That could be. I don't want you guys to get too reliant on expectations here. Because, we've been talking about expectations for a long time, but I've understood, as you might have heard from some of the other readings, that there's kind of a Taoist principle coming in about rigidity this month, and about really rigidly clinging to a certain way of being, or really rigidly clinging to somebody acting or feeling a certain way about you, or towards the progression of a certain relationship looking exactly like this or that. And, Virgo can be a little bit rigid with those types of things. Virgo is very aware of momentum, and very aware of how people, just how people will progress. It's like Virgo can predict people very well. Like, this person is going to act this way with this situation, and you're usually correct. But here's the thing, Virgo, you might not actually be correct about that this month. Maybe the person that you expected to do worse during the social distancing has actually created something that you never thought them capable of. Or maybe the person that you expected to be your closest confidant during the social distancing really is not available. And there's a really direct confrontation, or a really direct relationship that you gain with unpredictability or unprecedented actions this month that ultimately makes you so much stronger. You have the Strength card coming up, and also makes you much more giving, or much more sentimental in a way too. You might have a lot of good memories this month, or you might have a lot of recognition also of the people who've actually been on your side, or on your team, that you didn't realize. So like past relationships that you shrugged off, or that were never up to your standards before, might suddenly feel applicable, or might feel right in these circumstances with these standards. So there could even be a desire to reach out to somebody from your past, or a desire to start over or restart a relationship from the past. And it depends on the situation. I think that there are actually some people this month, with the current societal happenings, who can rekindle a relationship, or get past old mundane issues that, or it's not even mundane, it's like old, trivial, that's the word, old trivial issues that never meant much. Like, oh, he looked at that other girl, or he looked, or they looked, or she looked at that other guy, or, they looked at that other person, and while we were on a date, and then I never talked to them again because of that. Like, those old trivial experiences can start to be quite meaningless at a time like this, where you realize that that same person might have always been able to help you to put food on your table, or might have always been able to, or have been willing to, be a team and make things happen together, despite maybe having a bit of a wandering eye, and that's where this time is really substantial for the human consciousness, where we start to realize that we were maybe on a really trivial momentum for a long time. And that's really a determining factor in the coronavirus, for example. And this isn't a coronavirus video, but the in the bigger scheme of things with this progression, if we can really wake up to that now, and if we can put some of those trivial old stories to rest and end those stories, I don't feel that this will last very long, but that's really what it's hinging on, is the trivial replaceability of certain people in our lives, spiritually. Of course, that's not like physically, but that's just like some of the spiritual connotation of it. And you, Virgo, as one of the most elevated signs of the year, are going to maybe have a lot of stories relating to that, just so maybe you're an example for other people, or you're called to kind of solve some of those issues personally, perhaps. So it's interesting to think about. But anyway, Virgos, let's talk about your week to week. So week number 1, Virgos, you have Queen of Swords rooted down by the Strength card, which I really love for you. What a beautiful energy. Starting out April the right way. You guys are strong. You are smart, intelligent, really making the tried, true, strong, logical decisions at this time. You're probably one of the most exalted people to be facing this type of situation, where the home has to be in order, where the food has to be organized, where the meals have to, be made with ingredients that are going to go out of date sooner than the other ones. There's a lot of places in these times where Virgo really shines, and that first week is going to be a time for you to shine. I want you to really shine brightly and to really get things in order during that time, because you have the energy to do it. Week number 2, you have 5 of Swords rooted down by Justice reversed. So yeah, you could get really concerned about injustices. You could get really concerned about, why you can't reconnect with people, or why you have pushed people out of your life. Or also you could see that people are quite desperate to be in it too. Maybe some people are like, well, do you have toilet paper? Can I have your toilet paper? And you might not want to give them all of your toilet paper, but then they, it's things like that. It's a hypothetical, and I hope that it doesn't happen to any of you, but that's what I feel with this energy, is like you're maybe too prepared for this, and maybe that makes you a bit of a target from other people, energetically. And what does that mean? Watch out for advertising your preparedness, or watch out for advertising how much money you have, or how much, well-being you have, because there is a bit of lawlessness, Justice reversed, the Tower reversed, that will come about in society if this doesn't go away, and if money really becomes scarce and resources become scarce, like people will want to take it from others. So do, Virgo, that's probably the most important thing for you to take away from this message, is don't be advertising all of the things that you have, because it could actually make you a bit of there are people, when they get hungry and they have nothing, that it really changes them as a person. Not saying that would happen to you or somebody that but there's no reason to play with fire during this time. Okay. Week number 3, 9 of Wands reversed, rooted down by the Tower reversed. So this is you want to treat this time with respect. I will say that. You want to be cautious. You want to be careful during that time. I think that you will avoid any type of crisis or any type of terrific thing that is coming in there. But it's going to be through maybe keeping your head a little bit low. Again, this isn't the time for Virgo to be out everywhere. I have seen some Virgos who really are living normally and really not afraid of this at all. And that is, in a way, a good thing, but in a way also a very risky thing as well. So yeah, just not a time for Virgo to be out late at night, or for Virgo to be taking chances or gambling in any type of way, or, sleeping around or anything like that. Again, it's not so typical for you anyway, but when you shine so much, when you're such a rock star this year, you kind of start to act out of character, and that's not all of you. Again, that's only some Virgos. But yeah, you're very popular and very famous this year to a degree, energetically. So that can lead to interesting paths, and you're that logical brain that you've developed in the first week will want to really be available to you at all times. So yeah, stay sober, stay awake, stay clear, and stay in as well. Week number 4, you guys have the 2 of Pentacles rooted down by 6 of Cups. So I like that combination in the 4th week for you guys. It's like choosing love, it's choosing sentimentality, it's choosing charitable actions as well. Some of you might have charitable actions to make, or you might even be on the receiving end of that. Somebody might really help you out. Somebody might put forward a helping hand. And I think it's really good to be accepting during that time and to give it back as well. There might be a really hard decision that you're making in the 4th week, though, too. So try to kind of maybe do that as early as possible and see through the entirety of the month, like what your decisions are looking like. You know, if there's anything like dealing with like finance or, you know, where you're going to be staying, who you're with. I would try to really map those things out because I do feel that things will get like a bit stricter probably toward the end of the month. Or they could open up a little bit, but ultimately we're moving to a bit more strict locational energy. So yeah, it's good to make those decisions as quickly as possible. And, you know, just keep available and keep your options open too. It's good to have a lot of network right now, actually, as a Virgo. You know, in the 4th week, it's almost like you're holding your social network or you're holding your options close to your chest and keeping them there. And I think that that's really supported. So yeah, anyway, on that note, Virgos, I think that I'm going to go ahead and conclude your reading. Again, I don't sense anything that's particularly problematic or worrisome, so I don't want to, you know, just go into it over and over again. But I will be putting together an extended reading on Patreon. We will see what your central theme is, as well as your 2 supporting themes, and we'll get more definition into this reading and see what's coming up for you. So if you would like to check that out, you can click the center of your screen or the link below, and that will direct you to Patreon. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe as well as hit the like button, and I will be talking to you guys later. Much love. Bye.